every day is to try to kick somebody's ass. I mean, that's why we're here.
That is caught! Left center! Reds win! And this ball is launched. High and very deep to right, long gone. It's second of the night. Elly De La Cruz.
Short lead for Pena. Larkin drills it. Do you believe this? That's going to be gone! Back to back. Walk-off home runs. How about this? He's back. He's back. He's back.
And a swing and a drive. Deep left field. This one belongs to the Reds.
Swung on and hit deep to left field.
That ball is going to be gone. Home run. And the Reds put it 5-4.
Goes to second one. Around to first. Got a double play. And the Reds sweep the Cubs. Breaking ball. Hit high. Hit deep. Way back there. And gone into the second deck and left. Christian Encarnacion Strand walks it off. Karcher does it in his major league debut. He gets the final 3 outs, and the Reds get an extra inning win. A thriller 5-4.
Swung on. Fly ball. Hit the deep right field. That ball is going to be gone. A grand slam home run by Mike Cameron.
2 outs, 2 on. Reds down by 1. Larkin down the line. It's a winner. It's a winner. Here comes Tucker. Here comes Steins. Larkin's won the game. Barry Larkin gets mobbed. Look at this scene. It's synergy.
The stretch, the pause, and the pitch. And a line drive, base hit left center field. A single for Aaron Boone. And this one belongs to the Reds. The Reds have won 8 in a row.
Kobayashi with a long look turns it loose, and Dunn hits it to deep right. It's all over. And this one belongs to the Reds. The Reds have won their 5th game in a row. They've defeated the Cleveland Indians on an Adam Dunn 3-run home run, 4-2. In on the corners at first and third. 2 on, nobody out. Here's Roy Trin pitching, no bunt. Ground ball by the third baseman into left field. Jay Bruce rounds third. This one belongs to the Reds.
That's hit pretty good. Guess what? He doesn't need speed. That's gone. He's the king of the Queen City tonight.
With 1 out here in the 11th inning, you sure got to go now.
One on, pull down the left field line. That ball is going to get the winning run in. Here comes Jay Bruce rounding third, heading toward the plate. And this one belongs to the Reds.
Huge situation for Votto. Why you paying the big bucks to deliver the goods with 2 outs in the 9th inning? Can he do it? In the gap, right center field, and Votto delivers the goods.
Hit deep center field. Hank Hill going back at the warning track. Oh, he gets one. It's gone. Joey Votto is delivered.
Hello, Reds fans. Today is Monday, April 28, 2025, and we are the Chatterbox Reds pregame show. We got the Cardinals tonight, and I'm Mike, and with me is a guy who loves to celebrate the annual tradition of the Barry Larkin's birthday and is excited to be here. Ricky, how are you doing?
Doing well. It's a very nice day outside, close to 75 degrees or so. It's beautiful. Good day for baseball.
Yeah, great baseball weather. I see you've come back with the Clark Kent glasses. It worked. Hey, they won. The Reds won. So, got a sweep. So that might as well keep it going. Keep a good thing going. So, like I said, we're playing the Cardinals today, and we have that coming up here. And but first, let's talk a little bit about this weekend series. You mentioned that we swept the Rockies. It was great. Rockies did not cover themselves in glory this weekend, but anytime you can go into Coors Field and come out unscathed, win-wise, but relatively unscathed, even by your pitcher standards, you think that's a win. So, what were your thoughts on this weekend and how it played out for the Reds?
Yeah, it went how you want it to go. Abbott Friday night, with the slop weather that there was, did about as well as you could ask, honestly, and he kept us in the game. It was a good game, and then, we pulled it out. And then Saturday, Hunter Green looked great. Didn't have his best stuff just because the ballpark, but he looked really good. And then Sunday, Nick Lodolo he's proving himself this year. If he can stay healthy, he is 1A up there with Hunter Green. And then the offense is finally clicking, and it's really an exciting time because it wasn't that long ago we were getting shut out almost every game. So it's a good sign to see the offense clicking.
Oh yeah, I mean, nothing like 3 games in Colorado to really get that offense really humming. But I was very impressed with, I know a lot of people are going to get on Abbott for his performance, and did he walk way too many people? Yes, but I don't think they're properly kind of realizing how ridiculous that weather was. And it was clear from both pitchers, just getting a handle on the ball was tough. Seeing the ball, I think there was at least 3 dropped fly balls of some sort, or just like, I couldn't see it. Oh, I barely caught it. So that weather is just like a wild card. I felt so fortunate that we won that game, because it was just like, that game was just like, felt back and forth, and it was just whoever was up last was gonna win. So really impressed, especially with Pagan there in the 9th, just going and getting that save. So I appreciated that. I think some of the Chatterbox people have talked about this too, but we're starting to get some of these bats that have been pretty bad now really heating up, whether it's Spencer Steer, and then also Marte. Seeing these guys really start to hit has been really a good glimmer of hope, and something that we're really expecting to, lead us through if we're going to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah, it's exciting just seeing Lux and Elly on an 11-game hitting streak, and Marte hitting almost everything. And it's kind of, hitting's contagious, and hopefully it rubs off on Steer and hopefully Matt McLean as well.
Yeah, I think I was even more impressed at how well Marte was seeing the ball. We know Lux, right? He's going to take pitches. We know he's going to work the count. But even in at-bats that he was not hitting doubles or homers, he was seeing pitches that he would have completely swung over the top of, even earlier this year, but definitely last year. So he's just like, it's night and day how he's kind of changed his approach, and he's just willing to give what the pitchers are giving to him. He's going to take a walk if need be, or slap a single, or, ring one to the wall. So it's just very exciting to see him. I think a lot of people were willing to we're starting to call the Luis Castillo trade maybe a loss on our side, because of where Marte was and where all these other pieces that we've gotten have yet to really produce at the big league level. But boy, has that changed now that Marte is really showing. I know you were always a believer. Yeah. You got receipts for that, Ricky, right?
Yeah, and last year was I think he felt he let the team down, and he let himself down. I mean, more importantly, he let the team down, and then just trying to be confident when you know that you made just a colossal mistake, And coming into spring training, still struggled, and I think going to AAA was kind of a wake-up call. Like, hey, my job's not secure up here, and I really got to put in the work. And he did, and he's doing it now. And it's exciting. He's a real, like Trey said on the post-game show last night. If we're going to do anything, Noelvi Marte is a very, very important key to this team. Him, Elly, McLean are the big 3, really.
Yeah, and it also lends credence to this idea that these guys are young and they can still get better. I think we forget, because they've been in our lives so long, these past almost 3, I guess this is the 3rd season that people like McLean, Elly, Marte, people like that, like these guys are still 22, 23, 24, 25. Like, these guys are young. They're not in their baseball prime. So, if what we've seen is only going to get better, boy, look out. The Reds offense is going to be electric. And I'm excited for it. And let's dovetail that into talking about today's lineup. We're facing a right-handed pitcher. Anything in here that surprises you? Anything? It looks pretty similar to what we've been seeing against right-handed pitching.
Yeah, I really like this lineup. I like Friedel leading off. McLean, he's going to figure it out. It's just going to take time. I expected him to struggle. Just, you miss an entire season, and then you come back hot, and then you get hurt, and then you miss some more time. It just throws off your timing. And he's not struggling to where he's like, yeah, he's striking out a little bit, but he's hitting the ball hard when he's hitting the ball. So there's a little bit of luck involved too. And then Elly, he's on a great streak. Him and Lux on the 11-game hitting streak. Hayes, clean up. That's the best spot for him. He's our power guy. And Marte at 6. Steer, he's been hot. He's been, I think, batting 300 over his last 7 games. Playing first, I like that. It's a good sign seeing him play more on the field instead of DH. And then Fraley and Trevino rounding out your lineup.
Yeah, it looks like the Dragon's Beard pointed out Elly Hayes, Marte, Lux. Man, that's tough. I don't, especially how they're playing, any pitcher has to go through that. That's power, that's speed when they get on the bases, that's people taking pitches and working counts. It's like that is, and then if like McLean's not in that list, he's struggling a little bit now, but if McLean is who we think he probably is in the long term, it's like that is not a fun lineup to have to face, no matter what pitcher you are. So it's just exciting to see the Reds teams send out lineups like that, right? Send out lineups that can be actually feared by pitchers. One other notable absence here is Candelario, right? He only got 1 start in Colorado. It didn't go very well. He's back on the bench. It's clear that Tito's trying to ride the hot hand. They clearly didn't realize that we were also doing the pregame show on Mondays because Candelario only hits home runs when Ricky and I do pregame shows. So I would have liked him to take advantage of that. I don't know how many home runs we got in there, but we'll see how that ends up working with Candelario. And I guess before we go on, I'm gonna ask you all to like the stream. Looks like we got over 130 people watching right now. If you could just like that stream, it's gonna show that in the algorithm, make it so more people can join us, more people can chime in, more people can comment and get a look at what today's Reds game is going to be like. All right, let's move to the starting pitcher. Nick Martinez, coming off a okay start. How did it go with him last time in Miami there, Ricky?
Yeah, that was his best start of the season. He went 5 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. He's got his ERA down a little bit, but against St. Louis, he's got a 3.72 career ERA, but it's mostly in relief. The last 2 years, he's not allowed to run in 7 innings, and active Cardinals versus him are 8 for 25, with Donovan 3 for 4, Gorman 2 for 2 with the home run, Contreras 2 for 2 with the home run, and Arenado's 1 for 7 with a double. So hopefully we can kind of tone that down a little bit, and he can be what he was his last time out.
Yeah, when I first saw those numbers, I was a little scared. I was like, uh-oh, this might be one of those nights where the bats are going to need to help carry us. But I actually looked. He didn't have a start against St. Louis last year, and he only pitched in relief against them. And all of those home runs and that production came when he was with the Padres. So I'm not saying that they still couldn't go off on him, but that's some pretty good production, but it's been a while since they've been able to do that. So hopefully we get, what he went almost 5 2/3 last inning or last time out, 2 earned runs. I would take that in a heartbeat. Let's get that. Let's get through the 6th. Let's get greedy here. Let's get through the 6th, get us to our A bullpen with the lead. Let's get him his first win of the year. That would be great. I'd love that. All right, so that is the Reds lineup. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Cardinals. I have a little graphic for it. There you go. Boom. All right, so we have Lars Nootbaar, left field, batting first. Wilson Contreras playing first. He's been kind of relieved of catching duties, and batting second. Brendan Donovan playing second, batting third. Arenado playing third and batting fourth. Nolan Gorman is DHing. Jordan Walker in right. Pedro Pajes is catching, and Victor Scott II is playing center. Mason Wynn is batting ninth and playing shortstop. So is there anything in here? You already mentioned how some of these guys have fared against Martinez in the past. Was there anything out here that stands out to you, Ricky?
Well, Mason Wynn, he's a real good speed threat, and he's really I think he was the number 1 prospect a year and a half ago, and he's got a lot of potential to be a really good player in the league. Arenado, he's been in discussions of trade rumors over the last month 3 months or so during the off season and going into spring training. And I think I saw where he was going to decline a trade to Houston.
Yeah. No, they had a trade in place, and he
Yeah.
said he has a no trade clause and was like, nope, don't want to go to Houston.
Yeah.
So that always makes things awkward.
Yeah, for sure. And then Jordan Walker, he's got good power. He's just got to tap into it. And he can be a really good player in this league too.
Yeah, Victor Scott playing center. He's also extremely fast. He's a big stolen base threat if he can get on base. Notable absence is recent call-up Jose Barrero. If you didn't hear the news, Jose Barrero was actually called up from the AAA Memphis Redbirds to join the St. Louis Cardinals in Cincinnati as a little bit of a revenge series. Hopefully, we don't see much of him because I could totally see him going off against his old team. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But I think he's been playing mostly center field too. So let's just, we may see him later in the series. Let's hope he, stays quiet for the rest of the series.
Yeah, let's keep the Jose Barrero revenge game away because if anybody remembers from the post-game show, he is the reason why Nick has the Nicolas Cage pillow. He had launched that grand slam over the monster, and that was one of the most satisfying home runs I've ever seen, and it was majestic. But let's just hope, because he would be the guy that would go 4 for 4 with 4 home runs and just destroy us.
No thanks. All right, let's talk about their pitching. Their starting pitcher tonight, Andre Pallante. So Andre Pallante this year so far, 6.97 ERA, so not great. His last 2 starts he's had a 6.97 ERA with 14 hits, but you have some unfortunate stats of his performance against the Reds, don't you, Ricky?
Yeah, he is 5-1 with a 1.83 ERA. A lot of it's in relief, but I don't think it matters. when you own players, you own players, and Reds are just 12 for 64 against him, with only have 2 extra base hits with no home runs. Friedel is 2 for 14, Fraley's 3 for 9, Elly 2 for 9, Steer 2 for 7, Marte 1 for 5 with a double, and Lux is 0 for 5.
Man, those are some putrid numbers. Let's hope that doesn't continue. I looked, and he started 3 separate times for the Cardinals last year, and his first 2 he gave up no earned runs in his start, which is just not great. It's not great, and but I think that they got 3 earned runs against him when they played him in September. So maybe they're starting to figure something out. I would hope so. Those numbers don't seem that to be really saying that they have, but I would love to be able to get into their bullpen and, really show that, we can start hitting this guy. Optimistic John comments a little bit about Espinal not being in the lineup. I think that's just simply him against right-handed pitching. Espinal has been hitting great, especially against left-handed pitching, but I just don't know, who do you take out here, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know. I'm not sure. Steer's been hot. Marte's been hot. And he's not going to, is he going to DH over our best hitter in the past week, Austin Hayes? No. It's just Gavin Lux is hitting great, especially against right-handed pitching. So, I love Espinal. I think he's been a great addition and is a very integral part against this for this team, especially when they have to face left-handed pitching. But I guess this just kind of makes sense for me for what we have and what's going on now for this team. I'm seeing Matt McClain. We gave Matt McClain the day off yesterday. I really think that, Tito's just saying, all right, let's push through this. I think that we could, even though Matt's struggling, I'm still batting Matt McClain over Espinal. Yeah.
And I think, like you said, the only argument you can make is McClain, but you got to get him going. And there's only one way to get him going, and that's to get him playing. Maybe you move him down in the lineup, but Tito is all about consistency, and I just think he's going to ride with his guys until he's not, and that's what he's doing with Candelario. As Candelario isn't producing, and he said, "No, we got a guy that's outperforming you, and we're gonna move you out of the lineup." And I don't think there's anybody behind McClain that would do that to him.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let's talk a little bit about this pitching path to victory here. I mentioned earlier getting to our A bullpen. Because of Nick Lodolo's dominance, we only had Suter and Lyon Richardson go yesterday. So Santillan and Ashcraft and Pagan all with days off. I think Santillan and Ashcraft both have had 2 days off, which is great because Santillan, I think, was leading the league in appearances. So just, and he's been kind of struggling with command too. So just a little bit extra rest there. I feel like the whole bullpen is locked and ready to go. Maybe not Lyon Richardson, but if we would be seeing Lyon Richardson in this game, that's either a really bad sign or we're winning by a lot, So what do you think about the bullpen we might see today?
Yeah, hopefully ideal situation is be up like 7-2 and just maybe go with Ashcraft and Taylor Rogers or something. But hopefully we're in it and we go with the A squad and you got Santillan and then Pagan closing it out and go 8-9. Hopefully we can get 6 and then maybe Ashcraft tosses 2 innings.
Yeah, I think it's also important to get the lead because the back end of St. Louis's bullpen is also very good. Ryan Helsley is probably the best closer in the league and probably doesn't end the year on the Cardinals, probably gets traded to some contender as the Cardinals are kind of punting on this year. It's just, if we can get a lead and keep them out of it, because I think they kind of got blown out by the Brewers yesterday. So they are, their A bullpen is also rested. I would love to just not see Helsley at all. It's like we just are always pitching with a lead, and we don't have to see that dude who throws 100 and is nasty. So I just Maton and Helsley got the day off. Let's just get the lead and get it to the bullpen and have a nice little win there.
Yeah, that'd be ideal.
You mentioned the weather earlier. What's it look like at a Great American Ballpark tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be around 77 at first pitch with 6-mile-an-hour winds. It's just a light breeze blowing in from right field. Temperature's going to drop to about 73 around the 9th inning.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's perfect great. Baseball weather.
Yeah, I don't think that necessarily favors pitchers or hitters anymore, but I guess just Great American Ballpark being small might help. But that sounds great. If you are listening to this now and are on the fence, you should get in the car and go to the Reds game. Like that, this game's going to be beautiful. What about the NL Central? How are we doing? I know we're in second place, but let's fill us in on where we stand and the rest of the NL Central.
Yeah, the Cubs had the day off today. They are leading the division. They're 17-12. We're only a game and a half behind them right now, so we could gain a game should we get a W today. The Brewers, they lost 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals, so they are in third place and they're a game below 500. And the Pirates are 11-18 in last place.
Yeah, I see. There's Christopher Brown brings up something in the chat too about this specific homestand. He said, "Will we be happy with 4-3, or are we going to get greedy and expect 5-2?" So, 5-2, that means we probably got to take 3 out of 4 here with St. Louis this upcoming series, and then we can take 2 out of 3 from Washington coming in. But what are your thoughts? Where do you want to get greedy?
I'd love to. I think if we could go 4-3, it'd be awesome. Maybe 5-2 wouldn't be crazy, but ideally, you'd like to go at least 2-2 and then take the Washington series. But I don't want to look ahead. But Washington's been playing very well too. They're a tough team. But looking at St. Louis, look at where we're at. They are. Well, they swept their first series and then they've lost. They kind of went down to earth. So if we can go 4-3, I'll take it.
Yeah, I agree. I would love to get greedy, but at this point, let's just stack winning series. Let's just win series and get to the point where we're in the hunt as we get to September and things like that. You mentioned they swept the first series. I think they're like 2-12 on the road. So St. Louis, a very vastly different team at home versus on the road. So hopefully we can take advantage of that here in Cincinnati and get some wins over division rival. Because it's even sweeter when you can do it against St. Louis. Not only do they go down in the standings, but boy, those beating the Cardinals, you gotta love it. Beating the Cardinals, it's just like there's something different about it.
It's a little more sweeter.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's get to our what to watch for. Candy's not in the lineup. We already bemoaned that, so we don't have a fun Candy stat for you. But Ricky, do you have a what to watch for us? Actually, before you do it, everybody like the stream. Everybody like the stream. We need the likes. Scientifically proven likes are equaling wins. So please stop what you're doing and simply go over and hit the like button. Easy as you can be, and it's going to help the Reds out. It's your chance to do what you can to help the Reds tonight. All right. What's your what to watch for there, Ricky?
I have two. One simple. Austin Hayes is on DraftKings is plus 400 to hit a home run tonight. I don't think he's faced this pitcher, so maybe you can ambush one. Maybe he can get one out. And then one interesting nugget is that the Reds have won their last 9 Monday home games versus division opponents.
Cool. That's great. Let's make it 10. Oh
yeah.
Man, I love those stats. It's just like, all right, somebody's paying attention to that. And now you are too.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. I was, my what to watch for is actually on Palante, their pitcher. And Baseball Savant actually does what they're similar to based on the movement of their pitches and the velocity and things like that. And the person that Palante actually grades the closest to is 2025 Anthony Senzatella, the guy we actually just faced in Colorado, and Austin Hayes hit 2 home runs off him. So, I like that value. I like that value that you're getting. But I guess my what to watch for is about Palante, because I was just like, how is this dude who's just pretty average against other teams is so good against the Reds? What makes this guy good against the Reds? I looked up and the way he kind of gets things done. He's a heavy ground ball pitcher in the 98th percentile and getting ground balls and relies on low exit velocity, low hard hit rate, not getting the barrel on the bat. And that's what he does. And that's just it's just, accentuated with the Reds. They're not hitting the ball hard, and it's just a bunch of ground balls and easy outs and things like that. So, I looked a little bit further at the breakdown, and it looks like he has kind of this split when it comes to right-handed pitching versus left-handed pitching against left-handed batters. Against left-handed batters, he's throwing 70% of the time he's throwing 4-seam fastballs into lefties, and then he throws a sinker slider to righties. So he kind of has a difference of it. And it's been profound in those 3 games. I looked at those 3 games that he pitched last year. He's throwing, almost like, he's throwing only 4 seams in there, and then throws 0 sinkers to lefties. He throws them all to righties. So, and obviously it's working, right? That's coming. The sinker is going, it's going to right-handed pitching. The sinker is kind of running in, and then the slider is obviously going away from right-handed pitching. So I'd just be looking at that, because I then looked at this year, like his last 2 starts where he gave up a bunch of earned runs. He's almost abandoned the sinker. Like, he's not throwing that thing at all. We're talking like 10, 11% of the time. So my what to watch for is that little bar that pops up in on the Reds broadcast that shows what pitch he's throwing. If he comes up, we got 2 potentially Marte or McLean and Hayes. If we can get Hayes at bat in the first inning, we're going to see, is he throwing that sinker to right-handed pitching? And if he is, then maybe he's bringing it back. But if not, I think he's going to be throwing more 4 seams to right-handed pitching, and we have a chance for some of our right-handed pitching here, right? We got McLean, Hayes, Marte, Steer, all hot. Even Trevino, we can call him hot too. So if he's not really coming with that sinker, I like the Reds' chances to really get some good hits here, and hopefully finally get to Palante. I know that was a little bit deeper of a deep dive, but it's just interesting to me that he's just not throwing that pitch anymore. I don't know. He doesn't have a feel for it. It probably has something to do with, control. He, maybe even leading to the fact that he has 5 runs higher ERA on the road than he does at home. So my over under to you, Ricky, and chat, you guys can chime in as well. How many hits will the Reds get today off of Palante? My over-under is 8. 8 hits. Will they get 8 hits off of Palante today? Not in the whole game, just off Palante. For context, he gave up 3 hits, 4 hits, and 6 hits in his 3 starts against the Reds last year, and obviously getting some success. But will the Reds get over 8 hits? 8, I guess 8 would be, I should call this 7.5, right? 8 hits would be over, and then 7 would be under. We'll call this 7.5 hits then, the line. But what do you think? Do you think they're getting there today?
I'm going to take the under, but I'm going to say 7. I think it's going to be high, but I don't think it's going to be quite 8. Yeah. And yeah, if we can get to that where he's not throwing that sinker, or if it's just missing, and he has to throw the fastball, has to throw just anything over the plate. Let's just, let's get to him.
Yeah, he lives four-seam fastball, which, especially to lefties. So I'm thinking, Elly, hey, buddy, you're going to get some fastballs here. I would love for Elly to put one halfway up the moon deck today, gets a four-seam fastball and ambushes it. So, yeah, I probably set that line too high. Man of War agrees. He says under, but we could get 7 hits off Palante and very well, through some walks and things like that, get to the win here. So that brings us to our time to get out our crystal balls, our magic 8 balls, just shake them up. All right, time to pick what we think the score is going to be today. You in the chat start to chime in. We'll start to highlight some of them. But Ricky, first off, who do you think, or what do you think the score is going to be tonight?
I think we're going to get those 7 hits, and I think a couple of them are going to be home runs. And I think we're going to get to the bullpen relatively early. I'm going to say the 4 2/3, 5th inning.
I like that.
And we are going to score 6 runs. It's going to be 6-2 Reds.
There you go. I like that. 6-2 Reds. I like how you're getting around. There's 7 hits, but he's not going to go long into the game, so that's why. If they leave him in, he's definitely getting over. He's getting 8 or more hits, but because we're jumping him early.
Yeah, we're going to get to him early.
Yeah. It's like William House says 5-1 Reds. I like that. Anybody else? I'll let people chime in with what they think the score is going to be while I stall and think. Man, I really hope that they can get to Palante. This is the type of guy that it's like, I look at him and I want, it's just like, why are the Reds not crushing this guy? It's like, he doesn't have overly electric stuff. And I think I'm going to say that at their time they faced him in September was a good stepping stone. I think they're getting him at a right time, not a feel for his good pitch. I'm going to say they get to him as well. I'm going to say 5-3. You said 6-3, right?
6-2.
Oh, 6-2. I'm going to say 5-3 Reds. And yeah, we get the win. We get the A bullpen comes in, shuts it down, and it's a nice quick win for us to go listen to Nick and Trace. The Dragon's Beard, 6-4 Reds with a bounce back start for Martinez. 1 earned run over 6. I'd love that. Bullpen's getting a little roughed up though. Okay. Yeah.
Come on, Trace.
Oh, 1-0 Cardinals.
Reverse psychology. We're going to win 24-2.
Oh man. If that's right, I'll be very frustrated. But the thing
if it's 1-0, I'll do a fireball shot on Friday on the pregame show. I'll do a fireball shot Friday.
All right. That works. Yeah. The joke's on Trace, because if it's 1-0 Cards, he's just going to be upset for the whole post-game show. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I appreciate it. Make sure you like the stream, subscribe to Chatterbox Sports right there, and make sure you tune in for the for the post-game show. They go live in the 9th after every Reds game. 3-2, hope the Reds. Thanks, Optimistic John. Yeah. Make sure that let's go cheer on our Reds today. Hopefully, if you can get down to the ballpark, go do it, because it's going to be beautiful. Ricky, why don't you hit us with one more Go Reds?
Let's go Reds.